Hi, it's Gus Gresses, author of the Clarion Handy Tools, back with another video short for you this morning. This is a file client called HNDSLFCL. It's a file client, as I've said, which interfaces with another application called CHT Static Page Web Server. We've talked about this before, and we'll talk about it again in future videos. This is on the surface, as the name implies, a web server, and here when I push the test link here I get a web page and so on and so forth. This server is looking at a directory of C called CWeb. We have CWeb there, and when I dir that at the DOS prompt, you see that it's full of web files. Now underneath this is a directory called test, which is empty. Now what I'm going to do is just minimize that server and bring up this client application. Here, and this is the client Handy SLFCL. And what we can do with this client is upload files to the server and download files from the server. This application will work out of the box. We ship it in source code, of course, and we also ship in source code the server, this server, and both of these applications work out of the box. So what I'm illustrating here, you would be able to do if you ran the server and ran the client and then pointed them at each other by adjusting the IP address on which they run. I'm using, by the way, here a local IP address. This is an internal IP address. I could also make this work across the web, and if I have time today I'll illustrate that working across the web as well. So let's start by clearing this directory and just noting there's nothing in this test directory, 0 files here. So I'm going to take this file called handy zipnet, which is located here in this directory. I can reselect that if you like. There is a file called zipnet called in the zip directory, which I'm going to select, and I'm going to send it to a remote directory called test on the server below. And of course the server, as I indicated, is looking at a directory called web, and this directory here, all of these servers, by the way, can only see directories below the web directory. They cannot see any directories on your drive above this, so only subdirectories below web. And so this will go then into a directory called test when I upload it. Here we go. This first button on the right uploads the file in a visible fashion. As you can see, it gives you a progress bar when the file goes up, and you can interrupt there by pushing that, and the file is there. Let's take a look over here, and the file was uploaded. So this button provides you with a visible progress bar which can be interrupted. Sometimes you need to upload stuff in a non-visible fashion or in a background fashion. You can also do that, and this button here illustrates that. What I should point out is that this, as per the tooltip, uses a function called HTTP put file. Now I'm going to push this button. This uses a function called HTTP put file basic, and you'll see no message is coming from this until the procedure completes, which takes approximately the same time as the previous upload. This is completed now, and of course the file is there. I probably should have deleted that and do it again. nothing up my sleeve here as this runs. I'm not doctoring this video in any way. This is working live as I watch it and as you watch it. There we go, we've completed that. And there's the file again after deleting it. So that's two upload methods. By the way, this client, this application, Handy SLFSV, uses the Handy Client class as the HTTP object, which is connected into the application here using a template called embed HTTP client functions. And the configuration of that is pretty simple. It tells me, it says here, store config information on window close, status messages that you saw on the application interface. Messages appear in a status control, and that's what that is. There are no extra user controls. You can install user custom controls on the interface here. I have no extra controls installed to keep it simple. I'm not generating self-update code here, and these are standard classes. The object is called HTTP. So that is the construction of the application. Now let's do the flip side of this and download a file. So these two methods again, HTTP get file basic does a silent get similar to this silent put, and this button uses HTTP put get file, which is a visible get, and that shows us a transfer protocol, a transfer progress bar, and gives us a chance to cancel and exit if you prefer to stop it in midstream. And the download location is zip. So let's get another DOS box here. There are several files here. Let's delete, make this smaller so you can see what I'm doing. Let's delete Handy ZipNet. Handy ZipNet zip is gone. Now let's download it again. Just again so that you can see it actually bringing in the file. And the ZipNet should be there again. There it is. Let's delete Handy ZipNet again, and this time use the silent download. This is the status message control that I mentioned when I was looking at the template. This takes the same amount of time to download. And by the way, the escape key, even the silent download, can be interrupted with the escape key. That's completed. Let's see what that got us the file there. And the server has been limited to certain kinds of files to be uploaded. So actually it's pretty much limited to images and zip files, nothing else. The server will simply reject any other kind of file extension. That's by my design. That can be totally is totally under your control, and if you want to plan to use this server to download or upload something specific with a specific file extension, you could even limit the server to doing that. That's totally under your control. And to prove that, I'm going to use this zap file and try to upload the zap file to the server, and immediately I get a message saying access denied, file upload failed. And that's because the server is pinged first by this client to say, I want to send you a file called zipnet zap, and the server immediately says, forget about it, you can't do that. Okay, so this file client then um, has been modified slightly from the one that you have presently. This will go up in the next update. This has 2 downloads, 2 uploads, a silent and a visible, and an upload, a silent and a visible. And that pretty much completes what I need to say about this. As I said at the beginning, these apps are both available to you in source, and they're ready to go. You don't need to modify them, but of course the whole idea of our demo apps is that if you need to adapt them for your own purposes, you can do that. And also, of course, the source is there for you to um, see what I've done here to make this work, and which templates are populated, and so on. So that's enough on this. We'll catch you next time.